Welcome back, Conan Exiles. Today we're going to do a short vid discussing whether or not the bars and the Gollum is worth it. Make no mistake, it takes a fair amount of that blood crystal to get this done. The Golems require a lot of blood crystal, and sometimes you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Well, we're going to find that out right now. So this guy, you've got to be within apparently about 15 meters of this guy for him to go out and do stuff. And he doesn't seem to harvest as well as the player does, so keep that in mind too. So, kind of like the magic ability where you can harvest stuff in an area, but it is not near as efficient as the player doing it himself. But be that as it may, why is this guy not harvesting this? See that? Yeah, there we go. So we're going to kind of run around a bit, check this out, and see what this guy's abilities are. From what I've seen in past, he doesn't harvest near as efficiently as you would yourself because you have better gear, you have perks, all that sort of thing. So let's see what this guy does. Come on, get over here and do your job, boy. It's a little janky of him harvesting. Apparently he doesn't need to be actually near it when he harvests. So he's kind of an area harvester. So keep that in mind. Now, it's nice not to have to swing the axe yourself or the pickaxe. So, there is that, right? Let's just let him progress a little bit through here and see what he does and if he's somewhat efficient. We'll see. This area here I would normally get a couple thousand stone out of. And I would probably get about 800 metal out of those two areas near my base. Where is he? He disappeared. What the hell? There he is. Reappeared. Not quite sure why he tends to warp around a little bit, but that seems to be a Conan thing. But at least I can sit here and watch him. Disappears and... oh, there he is. Jeez. Come over here and see if you can get that metal. Hello? There we go. He's going to get rock, I guess. He has to think about it a bit. He ain't too smart. I've got the tool on him that allows him to get rock and metal. So you put a little bit of that in his inventory. Yeah, so he started with about 200 stone on him. He's gotten a total of 146 metal. That's a pretty poor return, I'm gonna say. So, yeah. Let's do a little harvesting ourselves and see what that difference looks like. Say I was doing this stone. Okay, so I got 75 stone from that one stone. What do you have? Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, if you're in an area, maybe maybe it's worth it. I don't know. You know, if you're just sitting around your base, thing is, like, he's got to be close enough to the stone to see it, and I think that's part of the problem. If I could sit up on my base 50 meters away and just let him go around the area and harvest, that'd be one thing. But if I've got to be within 15 meters of him, I've got to basically be around him for him to do so. So, yeah. I mean, the only upside I could see to this is I don't have to swing the axe, because the amount of stone or metal he gets is not amazing. We're gonna let him harvest an area that I would normally harvest myself and see what he comes out with at the end of the day. He does tend to sit and stop, and I don't know if he's glitching out. Maybe I need to keep him within 15 meters of me or closer. He's a little... yeah. He's a little lost. So maybe... I've currently got him set at 15 meters from me. See, he's not harvesting this rock here. Why? I can harvest it. So I'm playing around with the AI to see how competent or efficient it is. So far, I'm not impressed, because it took a lot of blood crystal to get this done. Now, people do say, I have been to this area here, which is, I believe it's Mek Kamosh's Spire, which is a dungeon. It's a kind of layered three-wave dungeon, I think. At the end, there is a dragon that comes out, controlled by the saucer. But there's a stage in it that has a bunch of golems that once you kill them, you can harvest them for the blood crystal. That's pretty efficient. The dragon can be a little rough. I got hit by him, and he managed to knock my health down. At the time, because I transported over there via one of those teleporters, I had half the health I have now, so he managed to one-shot me, and of course that sent me back to base. And when you get sent back to base like that, your guy will go into a stasis. They'll stop fighting. It seems like the whole dungeon goes on hold, and your guys go into scouting, and then they'll, within about 15 minutes, go back to base. But as you can see, he's standing by a bunch of metal and a bunch of stone, and it seems to be not whether he's 15 meters from something, or it's whether I'm 15 meters from something. Love of Pete, do something. God. I don't know if there's a mod for this that you can increase that. It'd be ideal if, obviously, if you could just set him on gather, and he'd gather an area, let's say 100 meters. That would be a lot more useful. Why are you not harvesting, sir? Why did I make you? That is the big question. There we go. Almost like if I just stand here, he goes into like a stasis mode and doesn't do anything. That's awkward. Come on. I'm standing right by where you need to be harvesting. I'm going to put that stone on him, let him hold on to it. Let's see. So there's more stone and metal here, sir. Would you like to engage and do something useful? Maybe I gotta keep him on a closer follow range. So I'm gonna bump his follow range back down to 10 meters, see what that does. Oh great, sandstorm. Damn it! Damn it, Jim! Come on, over here. Fine, I'll get my sand mask out. Please, Gollum, do something. Do something useful. I wonder, can you tell him to attack this? Let's see, no. Yeah, it's almost like you have to move around to trigger him to begin doing actions. Maybe I gotta keep him at the closest distance. I'm gonna put him back down to 5 meters. See if that changes anything. He's on a 5-meter follow distance. What if I set him to guard? Pick him up, put him right here. Oh. Invalid placement. Oh, must be. Maybe because I'm too close to the city. Valid placement, valid placement. So yeah, I suspect it's because I'm too close to Sepamura. But he goes into these lapses where he'll just stand there. Sir, could you do something? What is your major malfunction? Am I gonna have to do this myself? Kind of defeats the point of having a golem, doesn't it? Let's see how much metal I got out of that. So that was 63 from me, which is dang near. That's dang near half of what he has right now. So, is Gollum useful? Yeah, I suppose so. Is he very useful? I would say no. And you don't really want to be using him for fighting, because as far as I can tell, he doesn't have any way to regain his health. He's got 14,000 health, which is good, but if it's finite and he can't get it back, that's a problem. Put that there. Put that there. He's almost full up. He got one crystal out of one of these things. Weird. Come on, up here. Follow me. He's set at 5 meters. Moving around. Come on. Maybe I have to call him to me. Alright, there we go. So you may have to use your controls of calling him to you or to reset him occasionally. So there is some management that needs to be done with him. I have my keys set to 1, 2, 3, and 4 for like attack this, come back to me, you know, go there, that sort of thing. Yeah, you stand, as you can see, he's standing right by this stone rock here. and not swing. What the hell is that? That's new. What's that? Let's have a look at what that is. I wonder, does his hammer wear out? What's that all about? Oh, that is the weapon. I wonder. So, even though it doesn't show him, yeah, that's gotta be. It's like he's still harvesting, but Gollum Hammer T2. That's weird. So if anybody knows what this whole deal's about, you have to let me know in the comments, because I don't know why this bag suddenly appeared, yet he's still harvesting. Like he has a hammer on him anyway. Inquiring minds want to know why he's kind of glitchy. I've seen other people, their golems around their base, and I saw no player within render range, and the golem was harvesting. So why does my golem have brain worms? Don't know. Alright, and over here, there's a huge stone you can harvest here, buddy. Yeah, I've gotta recall him occasionally to get him to move. Once he starts moving, it seems like he picks up on the resource that might be near him. I don't know. Maybe, do I have to move to get him to do stuff? Don't know. If I put that back on him, does that do anything? That looks almost like a game bug to me. They don't seem to be doing a great job of following. Let's see. It's almost like his old setting of distance is back up here, where I put him originally. Because I put him up at about, what, 15. I had it set at 15. Huh. I did put a pickaxe on him, and I think that's unnecessary, because he's got a golem arm. He's gonna go for that. So you got to constantly be around this guy, constantly moving, or he doesn't do anything. Because he's standing right near you stone right here, and nothing. Like he doesn't see it. For the love of Pete, sir, would you do something? If you'll follow on him, now will he harvest? No. Okay. Okay, he's not following very well. Let's try following. There we go. Now he sees it. No? Sir? Yeah, Conan could use a patch for this. I hope the devs are aware of this problem, because it makes the utility and the grind for the golem kind of, I wouldn't say exactly pointless, but it sure is approaching that. Yeah, it's strange. Alright, we'll take him back up to base. Oh, stop it. The Gollum's not going to fight either, is it? There's a leopard that spawns right here, and that's one of the reasons I have these guards out front. Okay, they are gaining health back, that's good. I've usually got guys up there, they can see the action, so they come down and deal with it. But yeah, so as far as my testing goes, I am unsure of the Golem's present ability to be overly useful. Yeah, he just doesn't see resources half the time. Okay, well, we've run that little test, and I would say that it's somewhat unviable. So Gollum can be useful if he doesn't glitch out. He's cool looking, give him that much. Hey, I'll take the resources off him. I almost wonder if, is there any possibility that these Golems have a, oh god, heavy. It's almost possible that they have a weight limit that I don't see. Don't know, maybe. I did make, so far I've made one of the teleporters, and one teleporter is worth jack and shit. So you gotta have a couple of them in order to make the expenditure worth it. So you're gonna need a lot of brick, a lot of silver. So probably want to just keep that going in your furnace. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump all this stuff in there and make more brick. More iron. Alright. That's the first thing I wanted to cover in this video. And I honestly can say at this point that I have a little bit of Gollum regret. I know you can put weapons on them and make them into a bit of a fighter. Again, gathering all the bloodstone you need, because I don't know if it shows in here. So this is your assembly station. This is your manufacturing station. So I went with an iron golem. This will show you what you need. So for the torso of the Iron Guardian is 20 blood crystal. I believe that's 50 alchemical base, 10 steel reinforcement, and 500 iron bars. That's a lot. This is the arm I put on him, was this one right here. That one takes a steel warhammer, and it has to be steel, not perfected, but just regular steel. So don't do like I did. I thought I'd make a perfected steel warhammer, and that might increase the amount of resources that he picks up, and that just does not seem to be the case. So just stick with what they tell you. But the arm, let's look at the arm. What's the arm cost? Let's see. That's a leg. That's an arm. Iron Guardian empty arm. So you got to make an empty arm, then you got to make the actual Iron Guardian arm, which is this guy down here. No, that's stone. Iron Guardian maul arm. So yeah, so you got to make the arm first, then you make the steel warhammer and combine them. But it is expensive. As you can see here, 20 blood crystal, 25 alchemical base. It's a little less for the arms and legs, 200 iron. So if you look at the overall cost of what it's going to take, you know, 200 iron per arm, you're looking at 400 iron there. You're looking at the legs, is... Where is it? Here we go. No, Stone Guardian. There's a leg. There we go. No, Stone Guardian. Iron Guardian leg. So yeah, and for the Iron Guardian leg, you need 2 of those, obviously. And that's another 400 iron for 2 legs, and another 40 blood crystal, and a total of 50 alchemical base to make a set. The heads I got lucky and picked them up in drops, and you can pick them up off the saucers. A lot of this stuff you can get off the saucers that you kill, which is where I got the heads from. I also got a couple of Stone Guardian legs, as you can see. I opted for going with the iron version rather than the stone. I figured I'd have more durability. As I said, I have not made the Stone Guardian because it just seemed like the Iron Guardian would have more resilience. But yeah, it's a lot of resources to put these guys together if they're not going to do a hell of a lot. And getting the blood crystal seems to be a bit of a challenge. So keep that in mind. Now, the other thing I wanted to cover was the bar. These bartenders, you'll pick them up out of cages. So I picked them up. Matter of fact, I've let a lot of them just go because I didn't need them at the time. But I finally kept one of them, brought her back to base. So the main thing about the tavern is you get guys you can hire, right? You can see they say merchants on them initially. Have a look, see here. So yeah. So unless they actually say, give you the ability, like this is a prowler. I don't know what the hell a prowler is. That's 50 gold. Hire this person. This guy, so they've got to sit at your bar apparently for a little while before you can hire him, which means that you might have to linger around your base in order to get the guys you want. This is a saucer 3, kind of nice. What's the saucer I have over here at the bench? Oh wait, that's probably my saucer. Sometimes, a lot of times, your own brawls will sit down here, and you'll be like, "Oh, I gotta hire that guy." Well, no. See how it says guarding? That means I own him already. But if it doesn't have that green bar, they're new guys that came to visit your tavern. Don't know what a prowler is. I don't remember seeing that particular character. Hire Lemurian Alchemist, that's 100 gold. That's for a tier 3. This guy hires Zingarian Fighter 2 for 50 gold. What's this guy? Archer, 50 gold. So it goes up to 100 if you get tier 3. I believe I've seen named thralls here that will come down and sit. So you can get some decent thralls out of this, right? So it might be a good idea to build yourself a tavern early in game. I did not, because I built by Sepamuru, which has tons of thralls that you can just knock out with the purple lotus orbs and avoid all the aggro involved in beating people up to take them back to your base. So yeah, you can get some mediocre to good starter thralls and occasionally a named. So, but if you're targeting a named, it's almost better to go to Sepamuru and get your named ones. But if you need to, stock up your base with some thralls that are crafters and maybe a couple of decent fighters, and I use that word decent, decent for open world stuff. Probably not the best for going into any of the major dungeons, the higher level dungeons, which is why I tend to go where, well, I picked up these guys here. This one here is a, I believe she's not quite all the way leveled up yet, but she is a tier 3 Sumerian that I picked up in the north by the Mounds of the Dead. And this is the new thrall that I picked up in the Cyclopean Hulls. Now he's an elite fighter, and he's got pretty decent stats. I'll show you here. He is not leveled up yet though, so his stats have not grown that much. But the weird thing about this particular thrall that you pick up, the Blade Master is what he was called, is he seems to level predominantly everything in equal numbers. So you can't, it seems like depending on what food you got on him, you know, there's a higher chance of him getting some strength out of the deal, which makes him hit harder. But I have yet to level this guy up very much, so it's going to be a while before he's at the top tier of 20, and before I know how much health and damage he's going to be capable of. So we'll see. I would still love to get a Valencia or a Sumerian Berserker. I'm having a very hard time getting the RNG to pick those up. But yeah, so that gives kind of an idea of what these two things will do for you. Golems, like I said, the jury's a little out on Golems for me because they have not seemed to be that useful. So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe your Golem will work better than mine, I hope, because mine don't. He seems to be a little lazy. Yeah. Alright, cool. I'm going to keep this short today, and we'll leave it there. So, dying of thirst, as usual. Okay. We're going to call that there, so now you have a fair idea of what to expect out of the bar. You have a fair idea what to expect out of your Golem. Don't expect much. Cool. Alright. We are going to call it right there. Hopefully this is give you a little heads up that I didn't have when I started playing. And if you leave a like and sub, I'd appreciate it. Still trying to grow the channel, and it's a long journey. Alright, thanks guys. Catch you later.